Okay, I think we'll get underway, being 13:10, right on schedule. Next session, session 3, is we're hearing another case study, another country case study, and this time it's Bangladesh, our host country. So this will be Bangladesh's experience in fusing and sharing information. Today's session will be moderated by Anthony Bergin, and the panellists are Commodore Mohammed Faizul Hoque, and Captain Zaynal Abedin Mahbub, both obviously from the Bangladesh Navy. So, in the interest of time, Anthony, handing straight across to you.
Thank you, Simon. Anthony Bergin, for those that haven't met me, I've been working with David Brewster and Simon Bateman. I'm attached to the National Security College. I'm trained in maritime law. It's my principal background, professional background, and I've been mainly writing on maritime law and policy for too long now. Look, as Simon said, we've had one national case study, fascinating, the Australian one. Now we're moving to another national case study, and we're moving to the home front, Bangladesh. I've been looking forward to this because you only have to look at a map to see the challenges that this country faces because of the complexities of the riverine geography and estuaries and the interface between the ocean and rivers. I'm sure that poses some significant challenges for MDA. Our principal speaker today is Commodore Hoque, who's the Commander Flotilla West. When I look at some of the resumes of the Bangladesh Navy, I have one question: can you be academically too qualified? I mean, he has 2 master's degrees, so he's academically very well dressed, as is our other speaker. Captain Mahbub, who's the Director of Signals at the Navy HQ. So the principal talk this afternoon will be given by the Commodore, but the Captain's going to be like the Academy Awards, the best actor in a support role. He's there to respond and answer some of the technical issues that might come up that arise from the Commodore's remarks. So I think we're all looking forward to hearing how this country, just starting the pathway of establishing its own centre, has been going over the last couple of years, the challenges ahead, where it's having some successes, etc. So that background, Commodore, floor is yours.
Before I start, thank you very much, Moderator, for your nice words. And let's set the modus operandi here. I'll try to prolong the discussions as far as possible so that you don't have any question. You don't have time to ask me any question. And if Moderator allows you to ask 2, 3 or few questions, my deputy will answer. So that is the thing. And one gorgeous lady from Australian Embassy in Colombo, she said that after lunch you will find it very hard for you to get attention of the audience. I said, no, I'll make life easy. You are free to lean against your chair and close your eyes. Okay, thank you very much. Let me start. I'm here with the Bangladesh's experience in fusing and sharing information for strengthening maritime domain awareness, in short MDA. And let me start with an experience. For instance, IFC Bangladesh got an information about a dark vessel and gave the information to MIC, Maritime Information Center Chittagram, to prosecute or to investigate. And then there was a mission launched. The ship was could detect that suspected vessel. It was very benign to look, and they carry out a boarding operation and found that it was fishing for just few days at sea, but actually that group could see the tip of the iceberg because there was something different happening inside, and finally they could rescue number of forcefully displaced Myanmar national on board the ship, and the vessel was destined from Chattogram to all way to those countries. So meaning to say, the country of origin of the vessel was country Alpha. The crew members were from country Bravo and Charlie. Alpha and Bravo. The forcefully displaced, those nationals were from Charlie Delta, and those were trafficked illegally, those people, to country Delta Eco Fox or Gulf, for instance. So there were number of countries, into this game, into this play actually, not game. So the very incident is transitional in nature, and we really need to work together. As the DG BIMRAD himself, Commodore Misbah, he said we view ocean differently, but we share the same ocean and we need to act together. So world's ocean have become arenas of economic opportunity, and these are the contested grounds. And although Bangladesh has a semi-circle in the geography, the Bay of Bengal itself, but it is infused with a number of non-conventional threats, including armed robbery, illegal fishing, IUU fishing, human trafficking, arms smuggling, drug trafficking, etc. Bangladesh's maritime significance in the Bay of Bengal offer both challenges and promises, and the MDA is a vital tool for national and regional security. As mentioned by our today's chief guest, he said MDA is an essential element for both national security in one end and the economic development of the country on the other end. Bangladesh's progress in developing integrated MDA capabilities is worth mentioning. With this, I aim to examine Bangladesh's experience in fusing and sharing maritime information for strengthening MDA. And I have long list of scope, but I will not take much time, I promise. Let me start with the concept known to us. Just we have a destination from IMO. Maritime domain awareness is the effective understanding of anything associated with the maritime domain that could impact security, safety, economy, or the marine environment. And definitely the core elements of this MDA are sensing, fusing, analyzing, sharing, and acting. And today I am here to talk about the fusing and sharing experiences of Bangladesh. Whenever I say fusing, so automatically it has the sensing in it, and if I talk about the sharing, it has sensing, fusing, analyzing in it. And finally, we need to work upon it. Maritime context and strategic imperatives of Bangladesh. To talk about this, we have the sovereign rights of over 118,000 more than square kilometer of easy and portion of the continental shelf. Maritime geography presents both opportunities and vulnerabilities. We have the dense fishing activities, making our life very difficult, heavy shipping traffic, and increasing offshore explorations. We are exposed to, on the other side, to natural disasters and transitional maritime crimes. We have tried to prioritize our requirements, that is leveraging blue prosperity potentials and resource management in the priority 1, then maritime security, protecting sea lanes, deterring the illegal activities and ensuring safety of the navigation, and then optimizing the utilization of marine assets, and finally environmental protections. And the rapid growth of blue prosperity in the Bay of Bengal is actually dictating us to grow competence on sensing, fusing, analyzing, sharing, and acting. The strategic imperatives, the multi-layered institutional framework for maritime governance we are looking at, and Bangladesh Navy is principal security agency, and the Coast Guard is for law enforcement. We have established the IFC Bangladesh. Unified national MDA efforts are on, and the primary purpose is to ensuring sovereignty, blue prosperity, and regional stability. Let me talk about the formation of IFCBD. The emergence of MDA as a guiding principle has helped foster collaboration among defense, law enforcement, and civil sectors, as well as the international partners. For Bangladesh, MDA is not just about maritime surveillance. It is about the national resilience and regional relevance. It enables the Bangladesh to secure its blue prosperity, safeguard sovereignty, and contribute to regional maritime stability. Let me talk about the evolution of information fusion system in Bangladesh. We can phase out this one in actually three phases, and like manual reporting, modernization, and integrated fusion. Post independence, we had reliance mostly on the ship's log, radio reports, patrol-based monitoring, and the civil agencies kept separate data with minimal cross sharing. The result was the fragmented awareness, delayed responses, weak handling of complex incidents. Gradually, BN recognized need for information-led maritime governance. Traditional reporting could not manage the growing sea activity, and that is why we formed IFC Bangladesh and anchored under the naval headquarters. Although we are late to form it, but however, it's okay. In January 2024, Maritime Information Centers we have established in Chattogram and Khulna since 16 January 2024. But doesn't mean that we are not working, in carrying out surveillance or fusing or anything. We had been doing it for long, but these are the institutions came up very recently. The interagency collaboration, you can see IFC BD at NHQ at the center, and we have on your right the defense nodes from where we get information, and on the left the international agencies or IFCs, various maritime organizations and agencies, and Coast Guard mostly. And IFC BD has two organizations, Maritime Information Center at Chattogram and Maritime Information Center at Khulna. And we also get information from different ports. MPS stands for Maritime Mongla Port Authority, PPA is Paira Port Authority, CPA is Chattogram Port Authority, and definitely the Coast Guard zones are also giving us information. And under this Maritime Info Center, Khulna and Chattogram, we have two operations room under two fleet commanders. One is at the east, Comban, Commander BN Fleet, and on the west is the Commander Flotilla West, and I am the commander of the flotilla. Core system of IFCBD, mostly we have these three: Sea Vision, Skylight, and IORIS, and these are the segment at sea. We get information, and then from the AIS, radar, GPS position, weather, etc. On the land component, we have BIWT stations. They have around 16 stations, and then we also get information from VTMIS operated by ports. Also, we get information from inland waters and also from out to the sea to some extent. We also get information from Flight Radar 24, both on inland and also on the maritime front. These provide near real-time alert for the dark activities, provide near real-time vessel detections by satellite, and detection at night during passage. Potential dark activities. You can see that laser pointer is not here. It's okay. It's okay. You can see the red mark dictates or denotes that there was a ship with AIS on, but whenever after a few hours or few time, it switched off its transponders and became the dark vessel. Then detection of RV of vessels rendezvous. Also the correlation of the vessel with data and identifying its the actual name of the ship, and also the AI identification of suspicious track can be achieved from this, and similar information can be retrieved from iris, and process is similar. And from data fusion from inland and air, as discussed, the mostly we get it from VTMIS and Flight Radar 24, and BAW stations, they have some degree of vessel life tracking system. So multi-layered fusion, data is processed through a fusion system. Data is analyzed to identify the suspicious patterns, deviation from ISL, International Shipping Lane, or SLOC, distress alerts, transponders shutdowns, thereby becoming the dark vessels. And this common operation picture is then disseminated to MIC Chattogram and Khulna to act upon. If I talk about the national collaboration, MOUs has been signed with Coast Guard, Director of Shipping, Director of Fisheries. Multi-agency participation enhances efficiency. We have one liaison officer working in India, IFC IOR, right, for 2 years plus, right? And the capacity building and operational synergy we are looking into. About the regional integration and exchange of information with IFC IOR and IFC Singapore. IFC IOR we are actually exchanging information in greater detail, but IFC Singapore is yet to be optimized, and otherwise we don't have at all communication with Myanmar and other littorals. International liaison officer, already I said, and mutual confidence and interoperability we are looking at through attending Goa Symposium, Goal Dialogue, IONS, WPNS, etc. Operational experience about countering IU fishing. We monitor vessels, tracks through AIS and radar systems. We detect the dark ship operating without transponders. Data fusion reduces time and resources for enhancement and enhances the deterrence against illegal fishing easy. You can see that you can see the data here. In 4 years, Bangladesh Navy has apprehended around six vessels and driven away more than 2,000. Total numbering 2,390, and Coast Guard 44, 267, total 311. About search and rescue role, IFCBD coordinates distress alerts via GMDSS and satellite, provides verified incident locations in real time, and links Navy and Coast Guard response units, and the average response time reduced from 4.8 to 2.3 hours in 4 years. And likewise, the statistics suggest that in 4 years, BN could rescue around 376 survivors, but 124 were dead, and likewise, BCG also rescued number of personnel, live and dead, from sea. There was a case, armed robbery case on gas courage in 19th February 2024, where you can see that the 9 perpetrators, they actually tied up the watchman, stole ship stores. The incident was reported to Bangladesh authorities, mostly Navy, and Navy made its quick response and apprehended the 9 perpetrators. The oil spillage incident, one that took place in 25th October this year, and the spill extended up to 23 kilometer, covering 11.2 square kilometer. It was promptly reported to the Director of General of Shipping, and then official letter was sent for the necessary investigation response. The second incident took place in Eastern IMBL, across Bangladesh and Myanmar border on 16th October 2025 and reported the concerned authority. Quick action was there. We have a non-AIS fishing vessel during the fishing ban. We have 58 days, around 2 months fishing ban period at sea. But you can see hundreds of fishing trawlers were plying, including the foreign fishing vessels. And then we analyzed and confirmed the vessels. And then based on IFC's information, the nearest naval ships apprehended and driven away the vessels for further necessary action. Then detection of loitering vessels inside Bangladesh water. There were 3 occasions last year that 3 of the merchant ships were loitering. They came inside with AIS on, but in our EEZ, they shut down the transponders. They were loitering, and then we made a complaint to DG Shipping. It was addressed, and then subsequently the vessels departed our water. So those are the experiences. A few I mentioned. There are hundreds similar taking place every now and then. Challenges. Mostly we have challenges in 3 folds: technical challenges, institutional and governance hurdles, human capital and professional development. First one, to talk about the technical challenges. Data latency, poor satellite coverage and blind zones are the prime ones, limited system redundancy, lack of unified digital backbone and interoperability. Of course, cyber vulnerability is there. And definitely what we can do, we can augment through better satellite coverage, incorporation of suitable AIS receivers to improve the sensing. For fusing, it can be improved by considering unified digital backbone across all maritime agencies. And about sharing, definitely, when the requirement of sensing and fusing are considered, sharing of accurate and actionable intelligence among relevant stakeholders will become more evident, efficient and relevant. About the institutional and governance hurdles, the absence of maritime policy, security strategy we don't have, thereby we hesitate to share data. We have to admit the fact, and there are policy gaps in sharing information. And definitely, as DG BIMRAD answered in one of the questions in the first session, budgetary and resource constraints are there. And budgetary resource constraint affects to meet the requirement of all sensing, fusing and sharing. So about human capital development, specialized experts we need, and the professional development programs are to be conducted on regular basis, like this one, and training the pipeline gaps. And challenges related to human capital and professional development highlights the requirement of manpower to analyze information efficiency effectively. Lessons learned. We must put the governance before the technology. We need to have an information strategy subset to the national security policy or maritime policy or strategy. We need to reduce gaps in understanding as the primary currency. We must invest on it, and we must remember always 5C of MDA. These are coordination. We must coordinate with each other. We must collaborate to make theory into practice. We must grow competence at agency level, at national level, and then we must cooperate with each other. And finally, we must have the commitment. That is the most important thing. So what is the way forward? We must, it is the Bangladesh context I am talking about, we must formulate national ocean policy or maritime security strategy or whatever name may be given to it. But we must have a policy document to provide a framework for interagency cooperation and guidance on key priorities. Then we must strengthen interagency information sharing. Like we must establish the policy framework and establish legal framework. And then establish an information sharing network among Bay of Bengal littorals. We need to exchange ideas on regular basis, regular intervals. We need to talk, discuss. We need to find out the hot spots of crimes. It doesn't mean that whole Indian Ocean or whole Bay of Bengal has the similar pattern of crime. No. You have the hotspots, we have the grouping, we have the subdivisions of different patterns of crime. Then real-time information sharing, we need to look into. But before that, we need to talk, discuss, and shed off the gaps in understanding. I don't use the word trust, because once there is no trust, a trust cannot be built over the period. Although in the academic discussion you said that we need to build trust. No, once trust is gone, everything is gone. So I don't coin this word trust. Rather, I say there is gap in understanding. The way you look at this, I may not look at this in the same way. So we might have some difference in understanding. So we must reduce that gap and eliminate gaps in understanding. Concluding thoughts? More 7 minutes I have. Okay. IFCBD marks a turning point in maritime governance for Bangladesh. The situational awareness has led to successful interdictions, safer navigation, and the progress achieved serves as the evidence of Bangladesh's determination. Although we are late, but we have the eagerness to grow this organization further and contribute in the global peace and prosperity. IFC Bangladesh symbolizes progress through partnership and technology. And the partnership example is today's activity. The fusion and sharing of information can significantly enhance maritime security and blue prosperity. And definitely it reflects our commitment to peaceful seas and collective development in the region. Thank you very much.
What a fantastic survey of what you've achieved and the challenges that lie ahead. So we've got 30 minutes, I think, Simon. So we're not rushed for time at all, really. So comments, questions? Maybe I could ask one just to start off. It wasn't clear to me on your organisational chart, you had your Coast Guard as a dotted line into the Fusion Centre. So is the Fusion Centre both focused on defence, maritime defence, as well as civil maritime security? Does it combine both a defence role as well as, your slide that listed all the various civil maritime security? Are you covering both defence and civil? Maybe use the microphone.
We are covering actually both, because you can see that Coast Guard. So far, my knowledge, I can recollect. It was shown on the left side.
Correct.
And it was shown with the other civil agencies also.
Yeah.
So Coast Guard is considered in this case it's a paramilitary force with its assets, enough assets to conduct these exercises at sea. And we have shown Coast Guard because ideally Coast Guard should have actually MRCC, Maritime Rescue Coordination Center.
Right.
And it should have more two subordinate agencies like SMCC, Search and Rescue Mission Coordinator, or any name given to it. Ideally they should have this. Still Bangladesh Coast Guard is yet to develop these organizations. But we have the coordination with the Coast Guard headquarters. Our headquarters, Navy headquarters, through IFCBD has got link with Coast Guard headquarters, and that is why I have shown Coast Guard as a whole on the left side with the other civil agencies. Otherwise, you are working together.
Do you want to add anything, Captain, or no? Okay, sorry. There was someone got the microphone. Yep.
Good afternoon, sir. Lieutenant Commander Michael Booth. Sorry, too close to the speaker. Singapore Information Fusion Centre. I was wondering if you could talk a bit more about the handoff from your IFC into your Ops Centre. You sort of just said that the information is passed to the Maritime Ops Centre for any action. And I was just wondering, is there any further engagement that the IFC has with the ops team? Do you work with them during their operations, or do you just pass them the information and let it go? So, like, when you identified a contact or when you have found something of interest, like, what do you do with it? Like, how does that process continue down to a boarding or an interdiction or something like that? How does that process then work?
May I take it? Thank you very much, sir. If I have received your question correctly, that your question is, there is a report or something generated by the IFC, and then what is the subsequent action? Does the ops team takes over or something like that? Okay. So I was the Chief Staff Officer to Commander BN Fleet just 2 weeks back. So what did I do? So if I explain my duty, then it will be clear. So before 2024, so we had a single operations room from where we used to operate, and all the information regarding this which we get now through the IFC, that used to come through analog method, just in a basic way I'm telling. Okay. So now in my office, in my earlier office, I had 2 segments. To the right, that is the MIC, and to the left, that is my operations room. Okay. So I was the Chief Staff Officer. So now what we have 119,000 minus square kilometer of sea area. So every time Bangladesh Navy and Coast Guard, they have 6+ ships in the area, aircraft for a routine patrol or on call, they remain, and the helicopters and unmanned aerial systems. So these are the things, and also the radar stations. So my job as a CSO was I had to place the ships in certain places so that I get a minimum reaction time to reach to the incident. So what the thing is that the IFC, the MIC guys, they used to get all the reports, all the findings, analyze that thing, and they used to provide me with a, number of the subjects or number of things, that these are the things that require some sorts of investigation, or we have to have a fly through it or have a radar scan. So then this information automatically, when they are briefing to me in the eastern side, the same thing is happening in the western side, the MIC Khulna. And also IFCBD in Dhaka, they are also having the same picture. So whenever the alarm is raised, by this time my ship is already moving. So like this we have reduced the timing. So meanwhile, we are doing 2 things. Number 1, because we have just started, it is not even 2 years. So now we are managing a system, we have managed a system so that I can reduce the reaction time. So the process goes on for the validation or the identification of the particular issue, and meanwhile the vessel moves. So this is how basically we operate. So identically there should be that process data come to me, and then as a ops team I act upon. But here, because we are yet to develop to a formidable system, so the process is going on, I start acting, and then we correlate. So basically this is how we are getting some success, and now we will be shifting to a next level very soon. To the Fleet Commander, please.
Okay, just to cut this story short, IFCBD gets an information, it sends the primary, that whatever is the form, it sends the information to down to the MIC, Chattogram or Khulna, because we have a clear division of the AOR, and there MIC determines which assets to be launched. If it warrants an MPA to be launched, then it goes to the Commander Naval Aviation, the request. If it warrants a Coast Guard ship, because if it is happening in the coastal area, then again top and goes to the headquarters of Coast Guard, and then Coast Guard asset is launched. If it warrants a naval ship, as I said, we have 6 ships in different part of the sea. That nearest ship is informed to prosecute the event. So this way actually is happening. Thank you.
Collaborating with your IFC, what kind of information do they share with you, and what kind of things they do with your IFC? Thank you.
He said how actually we do cooperate with and collaborate with the Director of Shipping and Directorate of Fisheries, and how the informations are being sent to us, right? It is actually almost in all the cases, 99.9% cases, is the other way around. We get the information and we inform Director of Fisheries or Director of Shipping to take some action. As I actually showed you there, that there were 3 instances of loitering of merchant ships in our area, and they were just loitering for 3, 4, 5 days, and that were those areas were beyond the VTMS coverage. So that is why we actually detected, and then we informed Director of Shipping to take some actions, and they took the necessary action. Likewise, for fisheries cases, for any IU whatever, mostly we take the lead and inform them to take further action. They mostly take the legal actions post activities, our activities. So still now we need to strengthen the other agencies, relevant agencies, including fisheries, DOS, environment, disaster management, all. For Bangladesh, Navy is taking lead in every sphere at sea, and of course supported by Coast Guard.
Thanks. So I had 2 questions. First, you were talking about the potential benefits of having a national maritime strategy, or however you like to call it. I wonder if you could please expand on that a little, to tell us how you think that might benefit your work. So that's question number 1. Question number 2 is, you had a slide about the information platforms that you use, Sea Vision, Iris, Skylight. Do you use any other platforms, or do you see other potential benefits from also using any other platforms that you're aware of?
Just before you answer, Commodore, if anyone in the audience is from a country that has a maritime security strategy, be interesting to hear whether it has helped, as the Commodore flagged, trying to integrate policy around maritime domain awareness. But anyway, you've got the 2 questions from David.
Okay. No. It's not a difficulty for us to understand that we need a maritime strategy and we need to develop. We have had enough discussions on it. We know what to be there, and we know what to be written. We have drafts in our hand. Of course, I believe our DG, he has also several drafts. But it is only the policymakers to take a decision. I would say maybe they are taking some time. But we have realized that we need to have maritime policy or maritime security strategy or maritime strategy, whatever name may be given. We know what should be the content. We know what should be there, but we are taking just time. But I believe, inshallah, it will see light in near future. Right at this moment, we are not using any other apps, but if you have some idea, you can give it to us. And that's why you are here.
Perhaps a
Subsequent sessions?
talk about
Okay.
some other platforms.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Question down the front, thank you.
I'm not going for a question actually. That's my comment or some recommendation, something like this. One of the things we have regarding the maritime areas is the Territorial Zones and Maritime Act, revised 2021, and that act clearly states different occasions of your rules and regulations, like what will be there in case of pollution, what will be there in case of security, what will be there in case of robbery. The act is there. But thing is that the national policy, national ocean policy or some sort of regulations that is not yet made by the government, number one. Number two, if we have this one, what will be the benefit? See, the different agencies like the, say, Ministry of the Shipping, the Fishing, and all other agencies, they have their own rules and regulations. These own rules and regulations, sometimes they do not commensurate with each other while taking the actions in the maritime domain. So when you have the national ocean policy or something like that, you take all on board and make the rules and regulations in such a way that you can act comfortably in the maritime domain. So as you asked, what will be the benefit when we have this one? So that is one of the benefits, that you can bring all those together. And that national policy obviously will dictate a integrated framework of working in the maritime domain. That may include all, like the maritime domain awareness, that may be the sustainable ocean management, that may be the blue economy activities. All those should come in that national policy, how each and every sector will work. And that should come under a authority which will regulate total the maritime domain affairs. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum, sir. Sir, Lieutenant Commander Rashid. I am the officer in charge of IFC Bangladesh. So, sir, I don't have any question, just to add with you a little as OIC IFC Bangladesh. It's just 1.5 year old, just born, started with a few software as you have mentioned, sir. And in near future, IFC Bangladesh is planning to have few more softwares which will be providing us with imageries and plan for search and rescue, as we know that maritime domain awareness and maritime security covers large gamut of facilities to ensure maritime security and domain awareness in Bay of Bengal. And we are already planning to procure and have in our arsenal those softwares which will be providing us with all the supports to ensure domain awareness and security at sea. And sir, there was a question about information fusing, how we fuse and how we support our operations. IFC Bangladesh only deal with information preserving, fusing and sharing. So we don't directly guide or support naval operations, as naval platforms are used to ensure domain awareness and security finally. So we share informations, preserve them, and MICs of operations room are the hubs which receives those informations and guides platforms to ensure domain awareness and security at sea. Thank you, sir. That's all.
Thank you very much. Bangladesh Navy is planning to have, for instance, shore radar stations to have a gapless coverage in the coast. Bangladesh Coast Guard is also planning to have similar, radar coverage. And Bangladesh is planning to launch Bangladesh Satellite 2 in near future. If all these are taking shape and in effect, definitely we will go a long way. But that will take time. Maybe from now, 5 to 10 years. But we need to be prepared to undertake, all the missions right this moment. Thank you.
Could I ask, I raised it, the riverine geography of Bangladesh. Does your centre have any coverage at all of your river system, or is it only offshore?
For river system, mostly BIWTA, Bangladesh Inland Water Transportation Authority. Okay. They are responsible. They have 16 stations, but yet to be operationalized. They have some, it's called live tracking system. As using the mobiles. they have the assets, and they have the live tracking, and they monitor from some room, and that is happening. It's a benign start, but definitely it will get its pace in due time.
My question relates to the interagency cooperation. The slide that you put up would seem to be very Navy-centric still. We heard from earlier presentations where there are numbers of other agencies that are brought on board into, call them whatever you want to call them, intelligence groups, operations groups, whatever. Are there moves afoot, or are you already doing things in the Fusion Centre? I'll probably aim it at the OIC, the Fusion Centre as well, where other agencies, you already mentioned the Inland Waterways Authority, DG Shipping, fisheries, are there inputs from them as part of the decision-making process within the Fusion Centre?
Actually, for other agencies, they have the local offices manned in the respective areas. So only the telephonic or mobile communication is the means to communicate or share the information. Otherwise, whatever I have shown is the Navy-centric, because this is the present setup. We are talking about still Navy is doing the duty of MRCC, whereas it should have been done by Coast Guard. Still Navy is launching the missions, all missions. I'm talking about the SMCC, Search and Rescue Mission Coordination Center. So that should be with again Coast Guard different zones. But our 2 fleet commanders is undertaking the mission. As we have the facility of infusing and sharing the information, we are taking the maximum share. But our Coast Guard knows that they have to take this responsibility on their shoulder, and that's why they are also growing the capacity slowly and gradually. Once they really get the efficiency or capability, this duty will be given to them. Likewise, like a director of fisheries, an officer, he has the authority to apprehend, confiscate any illegal fishing vessel out at sea in the easy. The problem is they don't have a vessel to go there. So what do? We apprehend the illegal fishing trawler and bring back to the harbor and giving to them. So we are doing their duty, and we expect them that in future, they may take more 10 years or 20 years, whatever, they should gain this operational efficiency and capability to go to the sea and prosecute the violators. And we hope that in near future they will have this. And that is why we need a maritime central policy. If you have a policy, the guidelines, policy means nothing but a set of guidelines. And then we will devise the strategies, set of actions under the policy. So we are really in need of having a actionable, robust policy first.
Thanks, Tom. Sir, we might make this the last one, I think.
It's a quick
Please.
answer. Dr. Anthony, you asked earlier, if you remember whether there are any other countries who have similar challenges or similar or whatever. But I just want to mention up here what Sri Lanka has done on, equal, wouldn't be the equal fisheries, but we have high seas fishery a lot, 5,000 strong high seas fisheries. So this challenge, how Sri Lanka managed, we have got the VMS, vessel monitoring system introduced. Out of 5,000, almost now 4,000, above 4,500 vessels are being fixed with vessel monitoring system. So the Sri Lanka fisheries, the Navy, Coast Guard, everyone knows very well where the high seas fisheries are taking place, which is very helpful for us because our domain awareness is now full about high seas fishery. Now, on the policy wise, what the Navy did, with the economic downturn 2 years back, we had to look at how best that we are going to look at the future on this defense. So what we did, it's not easy, the Navy to design the maritime policy, so the other stakeholders, leaving them aside, we did the Navy's strategy for 2030 and beyond, looking at everything. So now the present government has accepted it, but it's a case that the other agencies also joining in because we have fisheries, DGMS, all these. But what's again right now happening is previously the Air Force did not have the ISI capability to the long-range maritime patrol. Now the Air Force build up the assets. So what's right now happening, the maritime policy is being strengthened with the collaborative strategy with the Air Force to extend into the high seas, expanding the Navy's operation. But it's similar like you. It's the Navy, the Sri Lanka Navy does the brunt of the work because the Navy has the capacity comparatively with the Coast Guard. I just want to keep you informed.
Do you either of you want to?
Yeah, just I know that the Indian officer is there. If you can add the Indian maritime strategy, it has got two versions, classified and unclassified. Both have been drafted by Navy. And then I believe, correct? So is the Navy to take, because why? Because we always talk about the maritime domain awareness, but we don't want to go to the maritime domain. We don't want to go there. Yeah, and we have to get everyone on board, everyone on the same table, discuss and write it, no doubt. But we are discussing, like every year actually, we conduct maritime domain awareness seminar, taking all on board in two places, Chattogram and Khulna. Previously it used to take in one place. Now we have actually extended the perimeter so that more number of government officials from different sectors are actually coming and discussing. But still that's what I'm saying. We are discussing, we are getting input from them, and definitely in our draft, definitely in the draft of Indian that maritime strategy papers, they got the information from those expert and the what is that called, diplomats or bureaucrats, and then actually proposed to the government. Likewise, we also have all the drafts papers, but definitely we have consulted everyone. We have got all on board in the same table. And this is the way we should progress, and Navy should take the lead. Nothing doing.
Well, look, I think we'll, Simon, I think we'll draw it to a close. Is that, look, the fusion centres, you're the new kid on the block only since, December 24, but I think everyone in the audience was very impressed with how, you've advanced, and, the two areas you noted for us were maritime interdictions and safety of life at sea, search and rescue, where you'd made great progress even though you've only been going a short while. You listed a lot of constraints and challenges, but I certainly came away listening to you guys that very confident you'll be able to meet those challenges, and I'm sure the other Fusion Centre people here would be more than happy to talk about what's worked for them and what hasn't, and so forth. So could, on behalf of the audience, could you thank the Commodore and the Captain very much?